Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Expert to Authority show. My name is Simone Vincenzi. I'm your host, and this is the show for coaches, speakers, and trainers who want to grow their businesses while making an impact in the world. Every week, we come out with different episodes, sometimes interviewing incredible guests like today. Other times, we interview clients on some of the achievements that they get. And other times, you can expect a solo episode of me sharing some of the behind the scene of the business of GTeX. Today, we're going to talk about LinkedIn and a particular strategy that will allow you to be found in a much easier way. So I'm not going to spoil the fun right now because our guest is going to talk about it, and we're going to have an entire conversation about this very little known strategy in particular that will help you stand out and be found better on LinkedIn. Before we go, a couple of things. One is, if you haven't subscribed to the show, make sure you subscribe right now so you don't miss any other episode. And then the second thing, check out the show notes because the links of our guests are going to be there. We're going to make some references throughout the show. And also, you can find there the webinar conversion kit. It's to help you create a high converting webinar presentations in less than 3 hours. So you can use it, plug and play, create your webinar presentation, boom, done. You're ready to create your webinar to attract clients. So check it out. It's only $30 and you can find it in the show notes. Having said that, it is time to introduce our guest for today, which is an internationally recognized business and personal growth coach, best-selling author, podcaster, and keynote speaker with the mission to help you do what you love, empowered by your own freedom. She specializes in helping coaches, consultants, business owners, entrepreneurs, and companies to grow their businesses online. Welcome to Catherine B. Roy. Welcome, Catherine. Good to see you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's truly my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to talk about LinkedIn. Tell us a bit more about what is the strategy that we are going to cover on the show.
Yes, well, I like to call it how I became famous strategy. Because now if you Google my name, you will find 25 to 50 million search results. And I used to joke that I'm not Jennifer Aniston, but we kind of had the same reach at one point. The thing is, I was programmer for 15 years, so I understand web platforms a little bit differently. And what I realized about LinkedIn as the completely open network, if our profile is public, if we know how to use hashtags and keywords in terms of SEO on LinkedIn as the most powerful business search engine, we can reach much higher level of visibility, not only on LinkedIn, but on Google too, which can actually help us to elevate our business.
This is awesome. I cannot wait to get started because it's a strategy that I never heard from anyone else. And I gotta say that I'm geeking out a lot on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. A big part of my business runs on LinkedIn. So I'm all ears. Before we go there, tell us a bit more about as well your background and what is the business that you do, so we can set the scene and create some context around the conversation.
Yes, as I mentioned, I was programmer for 15 years, actually Java web developer, and I was creating huge systems for actually Italian multinational company in financial field. But in 2017, I published a book in United States and it became a bestseller and I got very huge reach on social media. Then I realized I have to create something out of this. So, as a geek, I started researching, building my networks, creating funnels, webinars, which you just mentioned. And then I discovered LinkedIn actually in Madrid on one conference when I realized that Microsoft bought LinkedIn in 2017 and they won a piece of cake from all other social media. But LinkedIn is not only a social media, it's the most powerful search engine because we give them a lot of data, right? So if they have so much data, and Microsoft is OpenAI a partner, so obviously artificial intelligence is working behind the scenes. And I had the pleasure to work with LinkedIn editorial team from UK and from USA to see the higher perspective of all of that. So I'm using LinkedIn as a main channel, and as a business coach, I'm helping people to set up the systems and grow their businesses online.
All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I want to know, in particular, for everyone that is not familiar with LinkedIn, before we go into the strategy, why LinkedIn is so important for business. You already hinted with is the most powerful search engine. Search engine. There is already a lot of AI which runs in the background. Can you expand a bit more about the real power of LinkedIn that people don't realize? Because a lot of people, they just treat it as social media platform. Either they post some content, and then it goes. The bigger users, they will just post some content, right? That's it. So expand a bit more on that. Why is it so powerful?
Well, honestly, I would say that only a front end as a mask is a social media. But when we look at the back end of LinkedIn, there is no other social media which has so many data about us, about our experience, about our education, about our connection, right? If we try to do something on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, we need to know exact person we are searching for. But if we look for a search engine, LinkedIn, and behind the scenes, we can search any company, see who works there, who are decision makers, with who we need to connect. And, in the field that we want to expand, we're making very serious connections. But what is the most important thing is that LinkedIn has 18 million companies registered on the platform, and 4 out of 5 people are decision makers. And it gives us such a powerful analytics through social selling index, which is telling us exactly how our profile is positioned, what we need to work more on, how to get more visibility. And practically, if we know, I call that an A-list method, with who we need to be connected, there are completely unlimited possibilities. And this is how I built my personal brand and my companies. So I would say, I am showing up on all other social media, but none of them, and I am like completely in love with LinkedIn, helped me to triple my business twice during COVID. So when everyone was struggling, but we were all online, right? The second thing, which is very important, the mindset of the people on LinkedIn is very different than on other social media. They're here to learn, grow, find clients, find jobs, find businesses, right? They're not there to have fun and play like on TikTok or Twitter or whatever. I am not like saying these places are not good for business. They are in terms of our visibility. But if we want to showcase our expertise and really be seen by the right people, then we need to be on LinkedIn. And I'm not talking about the right people just in the context of our target audience and decision makers, but media also. Because if we want to build a strong brand, the producers, the editors, the journalists, everyone is actually on LinkedIn. So we're not losing time. It's like we're swimming in an aquarium with sharks, but it doesn't hurt. While on other social media, we are actually swimming in an ocean, and it's much harder to get where we want to be.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I'm 100% with you. What you said about the mindset of people on LinkedIn. And if I log in on LinkedIn, it's for a specific reason. It's not to scroll mindlessly. If I'm going on Facebook, on Instagram, I'm there to be entertained. I'm there to switch off. I'm there to like mindless scrolling. On LinkedIn, I go there for a specific reason. So when someone looks at something on LinkedIn, it has a different weight compared to a lot of other social media platforms. And as you said, the level of data that they give you, if you start now learning about search functionalities and all that part, which I'm sure you cover in your courses as well, you can really connect and find the right ideal clients at scale. And that's why I absolutely love LinkedIn. So let's talk about this strategy you were talking about using hashtags and how you can be found using hashtags. Set the scene on that because it's something that I never heard before.
Yes, well, if you search my name on Google, you will find 25 to someone even 50 million results for my personal brand. And Google verified my name through a knowledge panel because of this high level of appearance. And what happened is that I actually realized that when we post something, if we used only 3 hashtags, not more, just 3, and one of them is a personal branding hashtag, so meaning hashtag Catherine B. Roy, so people can find all my content but just by searching that hashtag. These 3 hashtags will be included in the URL of the post. When you check the URL, the link of the post,
Yeah.
you will see these 3 hashtags. So I'm repeating and teaching the algorithm that Catherine B. Roy needs to be pinged every time someone engages with my post, every time someone likes, every time someone comments, every time someone watches my video, because my network is open, my profile is public, and of course, Google and Microsoft work together in this space, and you can be visible much more, not only on LinkedIn, but on Google, which gives you much more credibility when people are searching for something, right? So it doesn't
Mhm.
matter if it is a personal brand or it is a brand. It means that if people are searching for that specific keyword, and hashtag is a keyword, they are going to find you. To make this strategy really works, we need to set a profile correctly, thinking about all the SEO strategies that we can use on this search engine, and actually, repeating specific keywords for the search engine. I wasn't even working and doing anything from December 15th to January 15th, and I had over 1,000 search appearances. So the algorithm was practically working for me. And
Yeah.
this is what we want to gain, because in an online space, visibility is our currency. And 2% of the visibility are potential clients. I'm talking about inbound marketing strategies, of course, not outbound.
Yeah.
So I'm feeding the algorithm, teaching it who am I, what I'm specializing for, what I'm doing, intentionally creating that through a specific video formula, because every video has a caption, and caption is a text, and every word in that text is again a keyword. So in a programming space, every word which is in any kind of database, and in this case every caption is something which will feed the search engine, and when people search for that they will find us. It's just simple as that. It doesn't have to be very complicated. So if you want to get more visibility on LinkedIn, I would say choose two hashtags which are in alignment with the content which you are creating in your own personal brand hashtag. If you use more than three, it will add only three randomly. But if you use even more than that, it will spam your content, because this means that we are actually not knowing, we don't know what we're doing there, and we're trying to get more affection. So on Instagram, it's okay to have 30 hashtags. Since Instagram doesn't work this way, Instagram doesn't have backend backlinks. LinkedIn does, and this is incredibly powerful.
I love it. And in fact, I think for everyone who is going to watch, I'm going to share the screen in a moment. Because if you're watching this on YouTube, then if you're listening to the podcast, you can jump on YouTube and then see the screen share that I'm doing. But I was, while Catherine was talking about it, I was then looking for her Google profile, as we can see here. So now actually we can see that there is their website at the top. You can see Instagram, you can see then LinkedIn, Twitter, and all with the hashtag Catherine B. Roy, the Forbes Coaches Council, and so on. So you can see that all this is linked to her. But then if I'm going into LinkedIn, I took this post as an example. You can see that, as she said, this is a great example of what she just shared. You have hashtag LinkedIn tips, hashtag business growth, which are the two hashtags linked to the type of content that she's provided, plus the hashtag Catherine B. Roy, which is consistent in all the other posts. In fact, I was going through, like I was looking
Just
also.
copy the link of any post and paste it in a new browser, so you will see.
Like this,
Yeah,
copy
like
link to post, and then paste in the new browsers here. Yeah, you
check.
have LinkedIn tips, business. Yeah, business LinkedIn tips, business growth. Catherine B. Roy is in there. Is exactly there.
And of course, that is public link. So
It is a public link and it does research. So what I'm hearing you saying, let's talk about. Let me stop the screen share. Uh, the we talked about three things. So the first one is the hashtag strategy. So two hashtags that are linked to the content that you are creating, and then one personal branding hashtag, which I assume will have your full name.
yes,
Or do you have any other recommendation for your personal branding hashtag?
no, that's the best one.
That's the best one because, for example, a lot of times I branded myself as Simone GTeX, but actually we would say it's better to have hashtag Simone Vincenzi because it will be my
Yes, but
full.
if you wanna if you wanna push your it's a kind of a brand name if you're not using your full name. it's perfectly fine, depending on what you believe people will search for more, right?
Yeah, no, they will search for Simone Vincenzi. They will not search for Simone GTeX. So that's absolutely okay. That's one. So make sure you use your full name. The second thing is that you mentioned that I want to expand on is the videos, because
Mhm,
there are two things I want to expand on what you said. One is the video strategy, and then the other one is the keywords on your profile. So let's start with the videos. You mentioned about the captions.
mhm,
Um, that are that they feed the data to the algorithm. So then, if you basically what I'm hearing you're saying is that you create a video
mhm,
talking about with the video inside that it will have the keywords that you're talking about.
mhm.
Expand a bit more on that, on the full strategy on video and captions and how they interact with each other.
Well, I actually created the so-called video formula, which has 7 steps. And lately, I'm not doing that because people recognize me. But at the beginning, I had a specific opening sentence and a specific closing sentence with a call to action, because I'm aware that any kind of media content, if we want it to be in a database, needs to be in the form of a text, right? So every serious platform has a transcription because of this, and every serious platform for a video material has captions because of this, because they need to save that somewhere. And actually, only words like a text in meta tags can be researched online. Even if we use a voice search, it transcribes that to text and then give us the result. So I was always opening with I'm Catherine Biro, your personal growth and business coach. So you see keywords, personal growth, business coach. And I'm here to help you do what you love and grow your business online. So a little bit of a marketing strategy, very light, but using specific keywords. Then I'm going into the topic, trying to give some kind of tips or value or whatever it is that I'm offering in that topic. Or even when I'm traveling, I'm just talking about the landscapes and all of that because we want to be seen somewhere, right? And at the end, I was finishing with uh, if you are a coach, consultant, or a small business owner, keyword, 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 and you would like to grow your business online, give me a call. I'm sure I can help you. You'll find the link in my comment below. So just in intro, in outro, I used several keywords. You will find the same keywords in my headline. You will find the same keywords in my about section. You will find the same keywords in experience section in my company because I'm feeding the algorithm, teaching it. I see that as algorithm is my friend, and no one under the roof of the sun knows how the algorithm work except of the architect who built the platform. So whoever says that knows how the algorithm work, doesn't. They know only from the user experience, because I was creating algorithms and building systems, and I know what my users see and what I see behind the scenes.
Mhm.
So whoever says that is talking something which it's not quite real, right? But what we as users can experience is how the algorithm works from our own experience. Or if we have more technical knowledge, we can guess how these things work perfectly,
Yeah.
on a specific platform. So yeah, it's a very interesting journey, but if we tap into this and understand, it's not about the number of reactions, comments, and all of this, but it's really about human to human connection and what we are feeding algorithm with. Then we will tap into the real gold of not only LinkedIn but every other social media.
I love what you said about the keywords in your introduction. So the intro and the outro being consistent, and they have the keywords that are going to be reflected as well in your profile. So you're not seeing the post as just the post, but where does it sit into the ecosystem of LinkedIn, to my overall LinkedIn strategy? And I think that's where a lot of people are missing. Then the something like really crucial for them is like, how does it, the keywords that you use in your post link to the keywords that you're using in your profile, and how do they match? I have one
Mhm.
question before I move forward on the video strategy. um, the In LinkedIn, when you upload a video, do you need to upload the caption separately? Does LinkedIn auto generates captions? Where is the technology, the video LinkedIn technology right now?
LinkedIn auto generates captions, but what I do is actually using different AI tools for captions on the screen, so it's quite more catchy than just LinkedIn caption. So LinkedIn captions are more like YouTube captions, getting the text into database. So to present this simplified as possible, my profile is a table in the database. So there is a database line which says Catherine Biroy. And then there are a lot of different tables with different data in these tables in the database, right?
Mhm.
So every single one of us is just one line in the general profile table. And then every single one of us has n tables with all of these data. So how it is connected? It is connected because it saves everything we do and everything we say. So the keywords in my video are in my captions. And where are these captions saved? This is my guess. As a technical person, they're saved, connected to a table, Catherine's content. I'm banalizing this, but Catherine's content captions, and then it's connected to Catherine's about section and the Catherine's, this and this and this. So when people search, it goes through all of these tables. It gives me as a result.
It's all connected. That's all connected. But in this case, then we can use it. So people don't need to have external caption to upload them. You can
No.
take your video, upload it straight away as long as these keywords are in the video that you're saying. And then if you use other systems to caption your video, something to make it more eye-catchy, then you can use some that there is video, there is Opus Clip that I use, Capwing. There are so many. As long as you put like caption vertical video, you'll find thousands of tools that are going to come out, and they mostly do all the same thing. I've
Yeah.
found very marginal differences. All right, I want to now transition. And by the way, if someone, before we get to the end, because if someone wants to know more about, for example, the video strategies that you have, I know that you run an online program, program on LinkedIn. Tell a bit more about the program and how can people find more information as well.
I've just started a new company, which I'm very happy about, and we're launching so-called lhmacademia.com. And there is an option for just an ebook, which is LinkedIn Decoded, where I'm explaining these strategies. And as a bonuses, there is one of the bonuses is my video formula. But a step up to that is LinkedIn Business Accelerator program, which covers all of these beautiful things in 5 different modules with a lot of bonuses, which can help people to grow on LinkedIn. So I'm covering profile, social selling index, algorithm, opportunities on LinkedIn, and everything that practically they need to know to grow there. So lhmacademia.com, and they will find everything.
I wanna show that as well while we are here, because in fact you can see here lhmacademia.com. We are on this link. If you're watching on YouTube, you will be able to see it. That's where you can see the LinkedIn Decoded. That's where you can get your free download. So if you're not watching it right now, you can scroll down in the show notes, go into lhmacademia.com, and then get your resources, whether you want to start with a free download or you're interested already in the program that Catherine runs. So that's for you, lhmacademia.com. I have another question before we wrap up, which is around keywords. Now, this episode has only been around keywords. And keywords on your profile.
Mhm.
I can hear already some of my listeners or viewers already saying, yes, it's all good and great, but how do I select the right keyword? How do I know that I have the right keyword? I'm sure that you get this question a lot with all your LinkedIn work. How do I know I'm selecting the right keyword? Where do I pick them? How do I know they're the right one? What's your answer to that?
Well, there is a simple formula. So it's called the boss bio formula. Who am I? What I'm specializing for, and for whom? So I'm Catherine Biroy, business coach, specializing in helping coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, small business owners to grow their business online. These are the keywords: coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, and small business owners. So why are these keywords and not some general topics? Because these are my target audiences, right? So when we define the customer segmentation in our business model, we know exactly who we are serving. And we want to be found by these specific groups. right? We can use any kind of keywords. Like LinkedIn is a keyword, but what will they get when they type LinkedIn? Everyone, right? So I would say that we focus on using keywords, our customer segments as keywords, and our value proposition as keywords. So in about section, it's all about my customer segments. And then again, you will see if you are a coach, consultant, small business owner, then this is for you. So I would say we need to focus on just using for a start a specification of our customer segments or target audiences as the main keywords. We want them to find us.
On them to find.
And I don't want to miss this. Skills which are listed on our profile are keywords, right? So I wanted to do more public speaking. And I decided to set a public speaking skill as the first one, although it's not my best skill. But let's see what is going to happen. First three,
According to LinkedIn, is your first skill.
according to LinkedIn, because the first three hashtags, the first three skills we have on our profile are the skills people are going to endorse us for. They're not going to list everything, just what they see right away, right? So what happened is that more than 600 people said that that's my best skill because it was the first one I set intentionally. And I repeated that in the experience section and my about section. So TEDx reached out to me, although I didn't even apply. And they said, we want you on the stage. And I was like, okay, do I need to apply? And they said, no, we want you on the stage. So
Oh,
we
thank
want to
you.
be very intentional because we never know who is watching us, right? But what we want to get more attention for, we set as first three skills. And of course, recommendations, because when people write us recommendations, then LinkedIn creates a small interaction network inside of the whole network. So it's very important who is giving us the feedback, who is writing the recommendation, because then it connects us. So when they find them, and they're usually my clients who are using the same strategy, I will pop up at the right line of the LinkedIn saying people you might know or people you would like to connect with, and they will show up when other people find me. So it's kind of a, a team game that we all
It is.
play.
It is. So if I, for example, because you're looking for coaches and consultants, then if a coach or a consultant gives you a recommendation, that's even more influential than someone else that doesn't have that title gives you the recommendation for search purposes.
Exactly.
All right, that's brilliant. So to recap, a few keywords, the ones about your target audience and the ones about your value propositions. Because you gotta want to be found from the right people and appear in front of them, but also you want to be found for what the right people, those people are searching for. And that
Mhm.
becomes, so for example, grow your business online. If I search and grow your business online, then at least you have more chances to feature for that
Mhm.
particular keyword on for that demographic. Make sure
Exactly.
that you reflect your skills. So the top three skills that you have, they might not necessarily be the top three skills you have, but these are the top three skills you want to be found for. And also recommendation, making sure that those keywords are in the recommendations that people give you and they're coming from the right people. This has been an incredible episode. I
Thank
love. I'm here already with a to-do list.
you.
Things that you will see my profile already being optimized. I have a Q&A call with our clients in when we finish the episode, and then I'm going to go straight into optimization with for to not wasting time.
May I give you one very short and important tip before we
Well, how can I say no? Yes, please.
you will see me sharing a link in the post only if I really don't like care about the attraction and visibility. But usually what we need to think about is LinkedIn don't want us to go somewhere else. So we need to share the link in a comment below. And every post which you see of mine, if I took care of it, has a specific first comment when I'm repeating the keywords again, because every ping of engagement will, give me more visibility. So I have a sentence which I created for people to book a call with me. And again, I'm repeating these keywords. So this is also very important thing. The funniest thing which I ever heard from marketers is that, if you don't comment with more than more than 4 words, like the algorithm will consider this as a spam. Can you imagine the system who can process 80 million companies and almost, I don't know how many thousands of users and numbers of comments and every single word to count? It's impossible to have a system like that. So every single comment, even if it is just one word, is very, very important. So we need to give it to other people and to give it to influencers if we want to get it back. So yeah, I would say don't fall for a trap of the
No,
front end
I have a,
users.
now that you asked this, this is a personal question I want to ask you. What do you think about LinkedIn engagement pods? Group of people that they comment on each other to boost the LinkedIn profiles. Yes
It
or no?
it depends. It depends. From like a year ago, I was even using a tool for something like that. But what we will achieve, because I wanted to test that, we will ruin the algorithm. Because if these people are not people who are in our target group, in our target audience, then we're leading the algorithm in the wrong direction.
Hmm.
What happens now is that people are very aware that if they comment on influencers' posts, they will be seen by their followers. So I have a lot of people just writing whatever they write under my posts because they want to
You
be
want to be
seen.
seen by the people that follow you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So these strategies are all fine, but we need to be very careful because, when you share the link, you see not only the hashtags, but you see a specific code and if it is desktop or mobile. So
Yes.
LinkedIn knows exactly where we shared that link. If we shared it with a pod or wherever we posted it in the group or wherever we did that. So a lot of people are losing profiles or getting banned by LinkedIn for doing things like this. So I would say if we're colleagues, if we want to support each other, if the groups are healthy, then why not? Why wouldn't I just like notice you that I have posted something and I would like your thoughts about it? But if it is like massive engagement with no meaningful thing, then I am afraid that we will ruin the algorithm. Although those people who want to be seen will do that for us anyway.
Oh, it's good because I have, for example, like we run a LinkedIn pod with GTeX, and I am debating if we keep it or not. I'm
If it is
debating
healthy, if the people are sharing valuable content and their networks can help, then it's perfectly fine. For
100%.
example, if I am showing up on a post which was written by Ariana Huffington's team, right, and people will see me and engage with me, that's also perfectly fine. If you and I are colleagues in the same space and that's quality content, then also it's perfectly fine. But if those are those massive pods which existed 2 or 3 years ago,
Yeah, no, no, no.
then absolutely not.
We have like 10 people selected once every other day. So there's not every day, and then they are we're part of the same group of target audience. So in that case, it can
Why
work.
not?
Yeah,
That's
and the
something
goal
which
is quality content. So great quality content, and then we can interact with each other contents in that way.
that makes sense a lot. Like, why not?
All right. Okay. And the last question that I have for you is about automation. Backend automations, because I know there is a lot of people that they want. There are tools like I was at Mid Leonard, I think, or automation tools to send automated messages on LinkedIn. Yes or no?
I'm
What do you?
smiling because when we asked the LinkedIn team, they just said, we know. We know if you plugged in something. We need to be very careful about this because LinkedIn is not like other social media. They actually have human teams which are checking these kinds of things. So there are different tools. If they are used to like scramble email addresses and like automate messages for outreach or something like that, and we don't use premium and sales navigator, that can be very risky
Mhm.
because they might ban the profile,
Yeah.
right? The AI tools for automatic comments and all of these things, they said they will include that by themselves anyway. So now when you're sending a connection request, LinkedIn is offering you their own feature to write a message. You don't need to use a tool, right? But you know why that happens? Because every third party tool, which is created and coded from who knows what resource, can actually, be risky for LinkedIn as a platform. This is why they're doing that, not for any other purpose, because of the security reasons. It's obviously important that the space is safe. So as I mentioned a few years ago, when we were doing this and testing this and doing things, we did use even a pod engagement automatization. Not only that, it did give us high visibility, but it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
So at this moment, I'm not using any kind of automatization.
That's good to know because I found the same. I like a tool that is called Meet Alfred that I use in particular to do outreach, but I have Sales Navigator. So
Hmm.
I will use Sales Navigator, the searches through Sales Navigator, the messages sent through Sales Navigator because I use that as a CRM. But I remember
Hmm.
that when I wasn't using it through Sales Navigator, I got my account suspended a couple of times, and also I was sending too many messages. Like I was like sending 200 messages a day. Now I'm going to like 30 messages a day, 20 messages a day. So it's way more sustainable in terms of
Hmm.
the use. But then making
You
sure
need to be careful. Yeah, you need to be careful with that because, as they said to us, we know. So yeah, it's just like the matter of how hardly we push through that. I actually don't use it because I'm doing only inbound marketing, so I'm not outbounding
you
anything.
don't do that unbound.
Yeah, I don't do outbound on LinkedIn. I do outbound with different tools, with cold emailing and something like that. But LinkedIn is very important to me as a main channel and something that my brand is connected to. So maybe I am even more careful than anyone
Yeah.
else.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I
When you love someone, then you take care of it, and then you are just like very careful with.
That's why I'm cautious. I used to run way more campaigns on that before, and now I've reduced massively the frequency, the amount. I will not use it all the time, exactly for this reason. I just don't want to get into tricky situation. At the same time, there is a lot of times where it generate a lot of business for us, in particular the strategy that we use in the back end of creating and generating responses and inviting people to like events or masterminds. So we really like that. This has been an incredible conversation. So I want to everyone to go to lhmacademia.com. The link is in the show notes, so you can find all the free resources and free giveaway, which is the LinkedIn decoded download that you can get on the website. And also, if you're interested to work with Catherine to understand the work that she provides, her courses, programs, then check it out. Catherine, any final words before we wrap up?
I truly enjoyed this conversation with you, and I hope this was valuable. So thank you for inviting me. That's
It
all.
definitely was. It definitely was. Everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. A couple more things before we go. Number one, if you like the podcast, make sure you subscribe so then you don't miss any other episode. Secondly, leave us a good review. It's good for the guest. It's good for the show. It's good for my ego. So make sure you give us a good 5-star reviews. And then the final one is to check all the links that Catherine put that we have in the show notes. So you can see LHM Academia and also the webinar conversion kit to create your high converting webinar presentation in less than 3 hours. I cannot wait to see you or hear you. No, you hear me. Anyway, in the next episode. Until next time, remember that together we grow exponentially. Ciao.